What is up, guys? So I know this video is a little late. It was supposed to come out yesterday, but yesterday was stacked with Crisis on Earth X videos. I made 4 videos on promotional photos alone, and then a trailer came out, so I really had no time to make this video, but I'm making it now. And you know what? Better late than never. So this week wasn't a great week. It didn't have that many great moments. Don't get me wrong, there were some really great moments, but not that many. So much so that I actually struggled making a top 10 list. Number 10 isn't that great a moment. It's a cool moment. It's a fun moment, but it's not the greatest. So here it is, the top 10 arrowverse moments of the week 6. First up at number 10 is Firestein on Legends of Tomorrow. Okay, so this was a pretty cool scene, but it's only on the list because I couldn't find a 10th great moment, and this was the best thing I could find. I do feel like Firestein was hyped up a little too much by the writers. They made it sound like it was going to be a recurring thing, but we know for a fact that this is the only time we'll ever see it. But either way, this was a pretty cool moment, and I'm pretty sure it's the first time we saw Firestorm since the Season 3 premiere. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm like 75% sure about that. I don't remember seeing Firestorm since then, and that's really sad. But again, don't quote me on that. Number 9 is when Ralph Dibny reflects on a previous scene where that girl got hurt because he went after the villain instead of trying to save the people on The Flash. This scene was a pretty well acted, well written scene, and it's nice to see that Ralph can be serious when he has to. It also showed Barry and Ralph's relationship progressing even more. It also showed a lot of character development for Ralph, and that's also really, really cool to see. Number 8 is when Slade finds out about his son Grant on Arrow. This was right after the episode spazzed out, or was it before that? I don't remember, but if you saw the episode spazz out while Joe Wilson and Slade were talking or arguing or whatever, that wasn't just your computer or something like that. I'm pretty sure it happened to everyone, because it happened to me and I thought it was my computer, but then I saw some other people comment that it happened. But either way, we've known about Grant Wilson because he showed up on Legends of Tomorrow, but Slade actually never knew about him, which I totally forgot about. I thought that Grant Wilson was actually going to be born like after this, because he doesn't look that old on Legends of Tomorrow, and that took place in 2046, so he could have been like 20 years old and born in 5 years, in like 3-4 years, but turns out he was like 45. But either way, Slade didn't know about him until now, and this was a pretty cool moment, furthering the possibility of a Deathstroke spin-off because they have another character they could have on there, with Grant Wilson as either a main character or a recurring character. Number 7 is the reveal that the agent who visited young Kara was actually Martian Manhunter on Supergirl. This was a great twist that I didn't see coming, although I probably should have, just because, I mean, what are the possibilities that that agent looks exactly like Kara's mother? So I probably should have seen it coming, but I was thinking, how can they do this? And for some reason, Martian Manhunter just didn't pop into my head, and then when it came, it was very unexpected. I totally didn't see that coming, so props to them for making a cool twist. It wasn't a plot twist by any means. It obviously didn't change the plot of the episode, but it was definitely a really good twist regardless of the plot. Number 6 is when Barry and Ralph get mugged on The Flash. This whole scene was hilarious. It was really, really funny, and was also a really cool callback to the moment in Season 1 when Barry was mugged by the same person that mugged Barry and Ralph here, which is a really, really cool callback. It's hilarious, it's funny, so it's not the greatest moment of all time, but it's really funny, which lands it on the list. Number 5 is when Slade succumbs to the Mirror Crew and becomes Deathstroke in the flashbacks on Arrow. This moment was badass and awesome. This week's flashbacks were great in general, but this has got to be the best moment by far. I mean, seeing Slade actually become Deathstroke and succumbing to the Mirror Crew was really, really cool. Number 4 is when William and Felicity were playing Injustice 2 on Arrow. This was obviously really, really meta. I said this creates some problems because it shows that Blue Beetle is a fictional character in this universe, but people in the comment section did point out that Blue Beetle could be an actual real person, and the Injustice 2 developers just used him, or whatever that game's called in that universe, similar to how The Flash and Captain Cold and I think Green Arrow have their own action figures. So this moment was really, really like meta humor, which was really funny, and it also basically confirmed Blue Beetle's existence in the Arrowverse, which is awesome. Number 3 is when Barry and Team Flash go to DeVoe's house on the Flash. This moment was tense, and you know what? Yeah, tense is definitely the word I'd use to describe this scene. It was really tense. You see Harry in the background with his gun, Iris on the comms, Frost and Vibe ready to breach in, all of them prepping for this crazy big battle with DeVoe, and then they knock on the door, and then Joe and Barry knock on the door, and his wife comes out, and then DeVoe comes out, and he's in a wheelchair. Like, they were all prepping for this huge battle with their main villain of the season, and when they knock on the door, DeVoe comes out, and he's paralyzed. It was really tense, and it's probably the only moment in this episode that was actually relevant to the plot of the season, so it gets points for that. Number 2 is when Slade and Oliver go their separate ways on Arrow. Not only did this moment perfectly set up a potential Deathstroke spin-off show, but it was also the perfect ending to Slade and Oliver's story that lasted, 11 years? Yeah, from the Season 1 flashbacks to Season 6, 11 years. This was a truly great moment. It was perfect. Again, it was the perfect way to end the whole story with Slade and Oliver's connected story, and it was also a perfect way to set up a potential Deathstroke spinoff, which I really, really hope happens. There are so many things in the last 2 episodes that make me want to have this spinoff more, and this is one of those moments. Number 1 is the Wonder Woman reference on Legends of Tomorrow. While I don't think this episode was particularly good, but that doesn't matter because this was a really great moment. Zari drops Helen of Troy off on Themyscira, the Amazonian island that Wonder Woman is from. I'm definitely a sucker for references, especially those that confirm the existence of certain characters, which is why the Blue Beetle reference was so high on the list. And while this doesn't exactly prove that Wonder Woman exists, it does confirm that Themyscira exists, and we didn't know that. We didn't know that Themyscira existed in this universe. But not only does it confirm that Themyscira exists, it also confirms that Themyscira, which is such a hard word to say, not gonna lie, is full of warrior women. So I think it's safe to say that Wonder Woman exists in this universe. Also, it's possible that Helen of Troy is actually her ancestor, just because I know she was made of clay. Either she was made of clay or she's the daughter of Zeus and Hippolyta, but maybe Helen of Troy is Hippolyta's ancestor, or maybe even mother or grandmother. I don't know how long Amazonians live for, but Zari dropped her off in 1200 BC. That's 3,000, over 3,000 years ago. I don't know how long Amazonians live for, but 3,000 years is a really long time. So that was the top 10 moments of the week 6, or the top 10 Arrowverse moments of the week 6. Let me know what your favorite moments are from this week, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.